Ladies and gentlemen, in New York, we have seen a few elected officials who have tested positive to the coronavirus. One of them is my dear friend Ritchie Torres, who's actually joining me right now. Richie, thank you so much for your time. And first of all, why were you always afraid of giving me an interview as your best friend?
I have a rule of separating the personal from the professional, but
Oh,
in times like these, the lines are blurred. So, but it's good to see you, Eddie.
likewise. And this is take two of the interview since last night I tried recording it, but the audio got messed up. I'm not technologically advanced. Were you surprised at that?
I'll confess to you that I did not start using Skype until I began the quarantine. I never had a need to use it until now.
Very
So I have the tech savvy of a senior citizen as well.
Very, very interesting. Richie, tell me about your quarantine. How are you spending your time?
Look, it's a challenge for me. It's strange to be a prisoner in your own home. It's strange to be physically distant from loved ones, friends, and family. I'm here in an apartment all by myself, but I try to keep myself as occupied as I can for my own sanity. So whether it's reading articles about the coronavirus or fielding phone calls from friends and family and constituents or conference calls with staff or reviewing emails, I'm an energizer bunny. I have to keep active at every single moment. And so to feel so confined in my own home and to have no ability to move freely as I see fit, that's a real challenge for me. It's a painful adjustment for me, but I'm managing it the best I can.
Now, when you found out that you were positive, it must have been really tough. When you spoke to Debbie about it, your mom.
I have a mother who loves me deeply and is fiercely protective, like all wise Latinas. She was particularly concerned because I have a history of asthma, and she knows that the coronavirus is known to infect the lung cells and could cause real respiratory distress. Thankfully, my symptoms have been manageable. Beyond an excruciating headache and fatigue, I've seen no serious symptoms.
Very interesting. What was Debbie's reaction when you told her about it? Did she think that that was the end of Richie Torres, or?
No, but she was concerned, as any mother would be, but is relieved to know that I'm recovering successfully at home. It will come as a shock to you. My mother loves me, so.
And she loves me too.
Yeah.
Besides being on lockdown, what are some of the challenges that you have faced?
I have no ability to cook, so I've mostly been ordering food outside. So I'm waiting for sushi at the moment. And yesterday I had Chinese food, and the day before then I had eggplant parmesan. So.
Do you miss those tasty empanadas that you used to?
I love empanadas. Yes, I do. And hopefully, when the coronavirus is behind us, we can get together in person, virus-free, have some empanadas at a wonderful Spanish restaurant.
Definitely. We should definitely. I'm going to put that on my agenda, on my schedule.
Yeah.
Richie, what are your expectations from New Yorkers, especially since you're campaigning, trying to replace José Serrano? What do you think? How do you think they're going to react when you're able to leave your apartment?
My expectations to be honest with you, the campaign is the farthest thing from my mind. My focus is on the coronavirus outbreak. It's the greatest challenge of our lifetimes. And my message to New Yorkers is that all of us have to do our part in overcoming the coronavirus outbreak. We all have to practice social distancing. We all have to maintain a distance of at least 6 feet from other people. Wash your hands continuously. Stop touching your face. If you're sick, wear a mask. Remain at home. But social distancing has become the highest civic and moral duty of every New Yorker and every American. Regardless of whether you've tested positive, all of us should act as if we have tested positive. All of us should act as if we are carrying the virus, and then we should avoid spreading it by remaining home.
Definitely, very good point right there. Richie, what do you think about the federal government's actions? Recently, Mayor de Blasio said that in 10 days, we might be running out of very important medical equipment. What do you think about that?
The federal government is largely missing in action. And I think we have to recognize that we are at war with the coronavirus. And what we need is a wartime infusion of support from the federal government. We need the federal government to mobilize both the Army Corps of Engineers and FEMA to build hospitals so that the healthcare system can care for everyone who's sick. We need the president to invoke what is known as the Defense Production Act to require manufacturers to produce critical supplies like ventilators, respirators, gowns, goggles, masks, clothing that can be brought to hospitals in need of supplies. And there are families and businesses that have been devastated by the coronavirus outbreak that are struggling to survive. Those families and businesses need direct cash payments and emergency lending from the federal government.
And what do you think about Governor Cuomo's words when he said yesterday that this virus could be affecting between 40 and 80% of New Yorkers?
Look, the virus has the potential to infect more than half the population. If the virus affects more than 20% of the population at a fatality rate of 1%, it will become the leading cause of death in America. It will kill more people than cancer and heart disease.
What is that one thing that you miss the most of your regular life, I should say?
Human contact. Seeing my mother, seeing my friends, seeing the constituents that I have the honor of representing in the city council. Being a prisoner in my own home and being insulated from the people that I love is a real challenge for me. And I'm someone who struggles with depression, and isolation takes a toll on me. But, I'm managing it the best that I can, and I consider myself blessed. I have a foundation of economic security. There are people out there who are struggling more than I am, who are facing more severe symptoms than I am, or who are living in a state of extreme economic anxiety. Right? There are businesses and families who are figuring out how they're going to survive. There are senior citizens who are living in solitude without a support system. So for all the challenges that I might have in my own life, I consider myself blessed. And I just want everyone out there to pray for the people who are struggling to survive.
Definitely. When should I expect to see you?
Well, I have 10 days to go with my quarantine. So I hope to see you soon, virus-free, and have fun.
6 feet away from me or closer?
Well, thankfully, once I'm virus-free, I will have immunity, so I will no longer have the ability to infect you. All of us must practice social distancing. Right? There are countries like South Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore that have been effective at slowing the spread of the virus and saving lives through social distancing. If social distancing can succeed in those countries, it can succeed right here in the United States. And all of us have a moral and civic duty to remain in our homes and to save lives.
Let them know the issue about when I was in high school, you were in college?
No, I consider you my older brother. You're my significantly older brother. So
that's not what you regularly say.
When you were in freshman in college, I was a senior in junior high school. So.
A senior in junior high school?
Yeah.
But you used to say was a senior.
And physically, you look much older than I do. So.
No, come on. Check this out and check that out. Come on, Richie.
You're aging, so.
Ay, Dios mío. Okay. You're just an elected official. Politics. Richito, thank you so much. Love you a lot, and hope that you get a speedy recovery, and I'll be able to see you soon. Te quiero mucho.
Have a good one. Give my love to Kelvin. Take care.
Will do. The best.